Chapter 1: Opening the Door to Wisdom and Leadership. Sheryl Sandberg, former Chief Operating Officer of Facebook and author of the best-selling book Lean In, has spoken in many different arenas about what it means to lead and to live wisely. Her life paints a story of resilience, curiosity, and a relentless drive to learn from every experience. She once said, "I believe that we need to build a life that means something to us, and the ability to look at the future with vision, to plan, to make choices, to keep moving." This simple yet profound view is the foundation of Sheryl's wisdom about leadership. A story of learning at Facebook. When Sheryl joined Facebook, she was a senior executive from the HBO world. The launch of the platform, its rapid growth, and the pressures of guiding a global product taught her that wisdom is not just about knowledge, but about listening. Sheryl's comment that, "I'm not afraid to be a part of the conversation, even when it feels uncomfortable," shows she learned to ask the hard questions, to absorb dissenting views, and to apply that collective insight to decision-making. Be key lesson about curiosity and humility. Sheryl often says that we grow when we let go of the illusion that we have all the answers. A wise leader is always a student. She demonstrates this by making space for her team to surface alternative solutions, celebrating small wins, and encouraging a culture of honest feedback. It is this humble curiosity that keeps a leader honest and prevents arrogance from taking root, a common pitfall for many managers. See concrete example for listeners. As you prepare for a project at work or a personal goal, ask the following. What is one assumption we are holding that might be limiting us? Write it down and then seek a perspective from a teammate, a friend, or a mentor. Create a short brainstorming session or a simple one-page memo. This practice turns everyday decision-making into a learning exercise and nurtures humility and learning within the team. Why this matters. When leaders practice humility and curiosity, teams feel safe to innovate. Employees feel respected, and the organization becomes more agile. Personal growth follows because you are constantly testing the edges of your knowledge, not assuming the limits are set. Key takeaway. Sheryl's wisdom is that leadership is a continuous journey of learning. The willingness to listen is the key to wisdom. The call to action. Invite curiosity into every meeting and decision and watch both you and your team grow. Like, share, and subscribe or follow for more wisdom and leadership. Reflective question. What assumption are you making about a current challenge that may keep you from finding a smarter solution? Chapter 2: Principles of Wise Leadership. In this chapter, we distill Sheryl Sandberg's approach into 3 core principles that every aspiring leader can integrate into daily life: intent, ownership, and empathy. These pillars intersect to create a foundation where wisdom emerges naturally. Intent, the power of vision. Sheryl believes that clear intent sets the direction for a leader. She once reflected, "Intent gives you a roadmap for what you want to achieve and how to get there." A wise leader defines goals beyond numbers. She defines the impact on people, culture, and society. By setting clear intentions, a leader creates a purpose that uplifts those around them. Be ownership, accountability as mastery. Sheryl's career shows that accountability goes hand in hand with growth. She noted, "Being a person of responsibility means owning not only the successes but the failures." When a project fails, a wise leader digs into the reasons without blaming systems or people, and makes corrective actions that turn pitfalls into stepping stones. See empathy, leadership as listening and caring. The third cornerstone, empathy, was highlighted when Sheryl launched the Lean In movement, emphasizing that women should give each other shoulders to lean on. She states, "Courage and empathy belong together." Listening to the voices of your team, showing genuine care, and celebrating their stories cultivates trust. How to implement these principles. 1. Intent. At the start of each week, write a one-sentence vision for an upcoming initiative. Let that line guide your decisions and delegate responsibilities that align with the vision. 2. Ownership. After each important task, jot down what went well and what didn't. Share this assessment transparently in a team meeting. Use it to refine your processes. 3. Empathy. Schedule a 10-minute check-in with a team member each day. Ask how their workload feels, what support they might need, and share an uplifting story from your own experience. Benefits to personal growth. By practicing intent, you create a map that keeps you from aimless wandering. Ownership sharpens your reflexes for problem solving, increasing self-confidence. Empathy expands your emotional intelligence, making every professional interaction richer. Key takeaway. Sheryl's leadership wisdom is that intent, ownership, and empathy are not isolated traits. They combine to form a holistic mindset that fuels wisdom. When you balance vision, responsibility, and care, you and those around you thrive. Like, share, and subscribe or follow for more wisdom and leadership. Reflective question. Which of these 3 principles do you currently neglect most, and how might you begin to practice it this week? Chapter 3. Sheryl's journey into wise leadership. Sheryl Sandberg's own story illustrates how she lived and grew her wisdom. From a high school student in Atlanta to a global business leader, she embraced curiosity, confronted adversity, and let her experiences become stepping stones. Early challenges and learning agility. Sheryl's undergraduate days at Brown were marked by rapid expansion of ideas. She recounts, "When I was working on my senior project, I realized that my first draft was wrong. I asked for feedback, and the change that followed shaped my career." Being able to pivot quickly became a hallmark of her leadership style. This agility allowed her to navigate through the fast-paced world of social media, a sector that never truly stops. Be the Facebook chapter, scaling wisdom. Sheryl's experience at Facebook was not just about adding billions of users, but about building a culture that could handle that growth. She recalls an instance where a product update caused a spike in user complaints. Sheryl didn't focus on blame. She gathered the engineering, product, and customer care teams, listened to the concerns, and implemented a comprehensive fix within 24 hours. That day, she demonstrated how a wise leader turns crisis into collective action. See After Office, mentoring and activism. Post-Facebook, Sheryl channeled her leadership into mentoring young professionals through lean in clubs and mentorship programs. She says, "The more I shared what I had learned, the more I deepened my own understanding." By giving back, she practiced reciprocity, a vital component of wise leadership. Personal growth actions. 1. Reflect on a recent mistake at work or in life. Write down 2 lessons you extracted from it. 2. Identify a mentor or a role model within your community, and ask for a short conversation about their leadership journey. 3. Commit to 1 act of kindness toward a colleague each day, noticing how it boosts both their mood and your own sense of belonging. Why this matters for you. Each milestone on Sheryl's roadmap shows that wisdom is cultivated over time. You don't need a perfect path. You only need to keep moving forward, learning from every failure, and giving others what you have learned. That continuous cycle of learning, practice, and generosity fuels lasting growth. Key takeaway. Sheryl Sandberg's story reinforces that wise leadership is lived, not taught. By exposing yourself to challenges, responding with humility, and investing in the growth of others, you become a reservoir of wisdom for both yourself and those around you. Like, share, and subscribe or follow for more wisdom and leadership. Reflective question. What recent setback can you turn into a teaching moment for yourself or others? Chapter 4. Turning theory into everyday practice. If we want to harness Sheryl Sandberg's wisdom for our own lives, we must translate her principles into concrete habits. Let us outline weekly rituals that embody intent, ownership, and empathy, thereby turning wisdom into action. A weekly plan for intent. Create a vision board each Sunday. List your top 3 aspirations for the coming week, each with a brief description of why they matter. Keep it visible at your workspace. Use it as a compass when choosing tasks or delegating. Be daily journal for ownership. At the end of each day, answer these 2 prompts. What did I accomplish that aligns with my goals? And what could I have done better? Write down 1 actionable improvement. Commit to revisiting this journal the following day to assess progress. See empathy exercise. Each morning, pick 1 person, peer, friend, or family member, and ask a genuine question. How are you feeling right now? Listen actively for at least 5 minutes. Let this simple conversation become a bridge that strengthens your network. Group practice, lean in circles. Organize a small informal meetup every month where you and peers discuss leadership challenges. Take turns sharing insights, giving feedback, and supporting each other through setbacks. Sheryl's lean in spirit thrives on this collaborative learning. Measuring growth. Use a simple chart tracking your intentional actions, ownership entries, and empathy interactions. Look for patterns. Do you find yourself increasingly intentional? Are you seeing measurable impact from owning responsibilities? Is your empathy practice growing in depth? Adjust your habits accordingly. Key takeaway. Wisdom is not abstract. It becomes powerful when it becomes routine. By embedding Sheryl Sandberg's core principles into daily rituals, you weave wisdom into the fabric of your everyday decisions, conversations, and reflections. Like, share, and subscribe or follow for more wisdom and leadership. Reflective question. What single habit can you add to your morning routine to foster intentionality? Chapter 5, Toward a Future of Wise Leadership. We have now traced Sheryl Sandberg's journey from curiosity to empathy and seen how those lessons translate into everyday actions. It is time to solidify the vision of who we want to become as wise leaders and outline a roadmap for continuous improvement. Identify your leadership identity. Take a moment to write down the qualities you most admire in Sheryl: humility, curiosity, empowerment. Then, write them next to the qualities you want to foster: resilience, decisiveness, compassion. View this as a living map. Where do you currently stand, and where do you wish to go? Commit to lifelong learning. Sheryl's own statement, "I am learning in every day, that growth never stops." Sign up for a new course, read a book outside your comfort zone, or attend a webinar on a topic you know nothing about. Each learning experience adds another layer to your wisdom. Set a personal mission statement. Craft a concise mission that captures your purpose as a leader. For example, to build inclusive teams that create products that empower users to reach their potential. Repeat it daily, keep it visible, and let it guide your choices. This aligns your actions with your deeper values, forging authenticity. Create a support network. Surround yourself with people who challenge you. Join a mastermind group or a leadership community. By routinely engaging with diverse perspectives, you will refine your own wisdom and provide wisdom to others. Measure and celebrate progress. Each quarter, review the habits you started in Chapter 4. Note improvements and areas for adjustment. Celebrate small victories, publish an article, lead a new initiative, support a teammate's growth. Rewards reinforce the loop of learning and action. Key takeaway. Sheryl Sandberg's legacy teaches that wise leadership is an ongoing dialogue between learning, action, and reflection. To grow, you must remain curious, own your mistakes, and lead with empathy. By turning reflection into practice, you create a ripple effect that benefits your career, your community, and your own sense of purpose. Like, share, and subscribe or follow for more wisdom and leadership. Reflective question. What specific commitment will you make today that moves you closer to your leadership mission?